All right, Gator fans, you've had some mixed feelings on the 9-game SEC schedule with potential new annual rivalries, but we have some really exciting news about the 2024 home schedule, and we are pumped if the SEC does finalize it. Right now, the plan for 2024 is for both of the new SEC additions, I'm talking Texas and Oklahoma, are going to come to Gainesville for matchups inside Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. We've also got a nugget that we learned about the 9-game schedule that we'll talk about a little bit later in this video, so make sure that you stick around. We've been told that this is not 100% finalized yet, but it is what is anticipated and expected by those inside the building and close to the UF program. Until the SEC schedule is finalized, these things can certainly change, but this would be quite the pair of matchups for the Gators next season. Let's take a quick look at the history of both of these teams and with UF. So Oklahoma, right? UF is 1-1 against Oklahoma. Both of those games came in the postseason. One of those two games was very, very important to UF's history. Oklahoma for the national championship in 2008. UF dominated, won their third national title. Think about Major Wright and that hit on the sidelines, right? That would surely get him ejected at this point. Tebow and Sam Bradford. This was one for the ages, took place in the Orange Bowl. It was electric. It was awesome. It was the Meyer glory years. I think truly this is the only one of those two matchups that really meant anything, and the Gators walked away victorious. Then obviously the 2020 season ended in a bowl matchup against Oklahoma. I don't know that Gator fans really even lose a whole lot of sleep over that one. I think there was a lot of guys that opted out. It was a COVID year. Things were a little crazy. I think Oklahoma maybe took it a little bit more seriously than the Gators did. But 1-1 against Oklahoma all time, winning the only one that matters. This could be a really exciting rivalry for years to come, though, because Oklahoma is a powerhouse, right? And same thing with Texas. Texas is 2-0-1 against UF in the 3 times that they've played, but all 3 of those games took place before 1940. So that means that in the modern era of college football, we have never seen a Florida-Texas game. Think about what a hot ticket that's going to be if they do, in fact, come to the Swamp in 2024, the first time they've played since 1940. It's going to be insane. It's going to be electric. And I mean, UF fans, I think for this upcoming season ticket holders, particularly, are not that pumped about the home schedule, right? You get Tennessee, you get Florida State, but then outside of that, we're talking Arkansas, Vandy, McNeese State, Charlotte. People are not that pumped about that. I've actually even had some people say, man, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to give tickets away to some of those games. But if this schedule gets set, it's going to completely redeem the home schedule of 2023. Can you imagine? Who cares what any of the other ones are? Think about how good that 2024 home schedule is going to be. If you get Texas and Oklahoma in the Swamp, and then couple that with the fact that Miami is supposed to come to Gainesville in 2024 as well, that already is a killer home schedule. I don't even care who else they do schedule for UF. That's incredible. As a season ticket holder, I will be totally pumped if that's how it works out. Currently, UCF is also on the schedule for 2024. You've got to think if the SEC is moving to a 9-game schedule and they already have Florida State and Miami on the schedule as well, that UCF is going to get bumped. I just can't imagine them keeping that game, which honestly, if my choices are UCF or Texas and Oklahoma or Miami, listen, UCF is getting the axe for sure. This is great news for Gator fans, particularly those that, like we said, are not that pumped about the 2023 schedule. 2023 includes Tennessee at home, Florida State at home, and then a bunch of meh games. Arkansas, Vandy, McNeese State, Charlotte. None of those are massive draws for fans, right? Now, if the team is winning, people will come and watch because they want to see the Gators no matter who they play. But you can't tell me that any of those games are nearly as exciting as the concept of Oklahoma and Texas coming to the Swamp the next year. The idea of Texas and Oklahoma coming to the Swamp in 2024 is also going to be massive for recruiting, right? Recruits want to go to big games. And if Oklahoma, Texas, those games are more than likely going to be at least 3:30, if not an 8 o'clock kickoff. They're going to have all the eyes of the nation. That means that recruits everywhere are going to want to be in the stands to witness that. The more big home games you have on a schedule in any given year, the more opportunity you have to attract those big recruits to the Swamp and to let them see what the stadium is all about, to see what it feels like to be in a massive game with massive opponents. Think about when Florida and Texas A&M played for the very first time. It was Texas A&M's first game in the SEC. It was huge. They had more recruits than they've ever had on campus. The atmosphere was palpable. They were so pumped about it. Now imagine Florida hosting two national powerhouses like Texas and Oklahoma for the first time ever in the Swamp. It's going to be crazy. Those tickets are going to be impossible to find. The recruit list is going to be a mile long, and the stadium is going to sell itself. So from a recruiting standpoint, this would be a massive, massive win for the Florida Gators if, in fact, they really do have Texas and Oklahoma on the 2024 schedule. It's not only is it going to be big to have them in the Swamp any year now that they're in the SEC and moving forward, but for it to be their first time in the conference in the 2024 season for both of those teams. Everybody wants to see, right? How are they going to fare against a conference that they've never played in before? How are they going to fare against the blue bloods of the SEC, which Florida is one? It is just going to be so massive for recruiting. I cannot emphasize that enough. While you're watching this video, if you can do me a favor and like it and subscribe to the channel, it's one of the biggest and best ways that you can show support for a peek inside Florida Gator football. And a little while later, I'm going to tell you about another way that you can support the channel. But at the moment, while you're watching, if you can, like the video and subscribe. All right, well, I told you guys we have a nugget that we want to share with you all, but just before we do that, I want to say a big, huge thank you for all the support that you guys have shown on this channel. The channel's only been going on for 3 weeks, and honestly, I never expected this sort of growth and support, and I so appreciate it. A lot of you have asked how you can continue to support the channel, and a great way to do that and get exclusive perks, insight, recognition is to become a member of the channel. It's never required, but always appreciated. And we're going to be doing some very, very special things for members, exclusive videos, things that get released ahead of time. We'll have some private chats, different things like that. So you can click above or in the description to learn more. And I really, really do appreciate and thank you so much for all the support that everybody has shown me. It's been unbelievable to see. It's been a really fun and crazy 3 weeks. And like I said, we did not expect it to take off in the way that it did. And it did because of you Gator fans. And I so appreciate it. So the SEC schedule going forward is not finalized. Our last video was a reaction to what we're hearing in the media, what's being widely reported as what is the potential schedule coming up. And that would be South Carolina, Georgia, and Oklahoma, right? That's what we've heard is projected for Florida. But I'm hearing that Tennessee as an annual opponent is not off the table. So I think that that's something that would make Gator fans really, really happy if at very least they could keep that rivalry annually and instead of, every few years or whatever. So, and if I had my ultimate got to pick anything schedule, I would make sure that Georgia, Tennessee, and LSU are on it always. So I am excited about the possibility that Tennessee is not off the table yet. And I'm hearing that the powers that be are working really hard to push that for Gator fans in the background. So we'll see if they're successful or not, but very excited about the possibility. We'll keep you updated on what we're hearing on both the schedule and when Oklahoma and Texas games are finalized. We'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Let us know what game that you would be the very most excited about to see in the Swamp. Make sure you're subscribed because we have some big updates coming this week. And as the guys are back on the field for spring practice, we're going to see what we hear, who's looking good, who's working hard. And if you want to get caught up on what the transfers have looked like and who is really a big hit for the Gators so far, go ahead and click right here.